want to welcome all of you and thank you for being here. I would also like to thank our SoFloPoJo publisher, Lenny De La Rocca and Michael McNamara. They're here with us and they make this all possible. So thank you for being here. We're just going to go right into our poetry reading, and then we'll have plenty of time, help at the end, where if any of you all want to make comments or ask questions, you'll be able to do that. And I will be putting links in the chat during the reading where you can purchase books and find out more about our two featured poets. And welcome to both Christina and Rachel for being here. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We're going to start off today with Rachel Abramowitz. She's the author of The Birthday of the Dead, which won the 2021 Maristina Santiesteban Prize from Conduit Books. She also is the author of a chapbook, The Puzzle Monster, which won the 2021 Tomás Salomon Prize, and it's forthcoming from Factory Hollow Press in 2022. And also a chapbook called Gutlust, which won the 2019 Burnside Review Prize. It was published in 2020 by Burnside Review Press. Her poems and reviews have appeared in Tin House Online, the Threepenny Review, Seneca Review, the Kenyon Review Online, Crazy Horse, Tupelo Quarterly, Prelude, Oxonian Review, Pool, Jubilat, Sprung Formal, Transom, Colorado Review, and others. She's a graduate of the Iowa Writers Workshop and the University of Oxford, and she's taught English literature at Barnard College in New York. Thank you, Rachel. The floor is yours.
Wonderful. Thank you for that introduction. Thank you all for coming so much. It's wonderful to see faces and to read with Christina. And thank you, Judy. This is such an honor, truly. I'm so thrilled. So this is the book, let's get it not in the blur somehow, called The Birthday of the Dead. And I'll read some poems from this book and then some new poems that some will be, this is their debut. So we'll see what you think. So I'd like to start the poem called Sonnet Introduction. I must have had a mother. I must have had a hat and then given it away upside down so that someone would be compelled to fill their head with crocuses. I must have seen how golden the moon appears to a virgin of Demeter, wreathed in glowing wheat, betrothed to dirt. I come from a village accessible only by boat. You can see how the heat clings to me, how from my ankles dangle netted glass, blue lobsters, pieces of kindling, 4 tamed crickets ready for circus life. Sweet hedge maze, verdant under every planet. I will show you what the center is made for. Here is my hat. Something has to change. Okie doke. It's called Anniversary. I married the last spoon in the drawer, the one with a chip in it from when it got caught in the disposer, and word, the sound that hell must sound like, until someone turned it off. It wasn't me. And a quiet descended like lint to the floor, which reminded us of the vows we had made to each other, the spoon and I, which were rushed but referenced the violent light of morning, cradled in sterling. Everyone wept, especially the other spoons, which were occupied in puddings and white sauces and reflecting the ceiling from the counter. And that quiet was like the inside of a spoon, where not one day has gone by that I do not think of my imperfections, 1,000,000 points of light. This is Two-Headed Tulip. And now I actually live very close to this cemetery. This is Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn. But when I wrote this, I did not live close to it. And I think this was manifest in the universe that drew me back here. Two-Headed Tulip. Of course, dead things bring up the best flowers. What a merchant wouldn't give for your heart bulb, pleated as a new onion in a brass hinged box marked future? What titmouse wouldn't pause in his survival to be lifted on the electricity of the site, an instant evolution on this patch of grass? Even the dead are reaching like roots for your name. It's called The Appian Way. The pink and white house and I get to know each other. I place it on a hill suspended above ordinary cypresses, where a stream goes about its lapidary business. The house gives me a white cat with eyes green as Alexandrian marble, and I bring the house lemons sometimes, and we eat them with salt because we are alone. When it rains, I swear the house sways like a lesser boat. In summer, infantries of ants storm the blue bowls full of plums, and the house and I count and count. Some months, the house tells me the truth. We cannot go on forever, and how its beauty dredges up in me whatever it is that makes men thunder down wondrous roads toward that which can be made to kneel. This is Octopuses invade Welsh beach. An octopus walks out of the ocean and dies on the sand, gasping a terrible wet human gasp, eyes fixed on horizon, strange land, waterline, the salt of a particular death, and then another comes until there are 20. We approach them one by one, a receiving line, and their tentacles curl and wave, tighten and drop. There is nothing to be done. They are escaping a zone so barren it is called a zone. It is hard to breathe where they are meant to breathe, so they have come to where they cannot breathe at all. It is better this way, each brain tells the other. Let us meet like a noble army, our death on a beach in the night. Let us haunt it with our final shapes. It is quiet, except for this strange sighing. The hearts blink out, and the useless shell is set on the sand like a plinth. And then we, with our piteous one heart, say nothing, and the stars say nothing but make pictures, and we wait for the tide, and no less, and then less. And this one, Christina, thank you so much for putting this one in Tupelo Quarterly. I appreciate this one was published there. So he thought, women turn into lakes all the time. I rely on the old tropes, one hand outstretched, the other clawed around a spear, the arcane forest floor silenting each footfall, each minor note. Sparrows that were women, these oaks, of course, and would you be surprised if this deer tick, this sprouting fungus, had a human song inside it? Now that I am this watery shape, bring your face closer. River yourself beside me, intransitive. I lied. You will know me by the faulty joy of foxgloves, whom no one will touch and who grow everywhere. A conversation. The moon does not want to be touched. How do I know? The goats this morning bludgeon each other and then roll in the daisies, singing their childhood songs. The moon wants, it has said to me, only to go swimming, and here is a lake like an opal opened from its cave. Come closer, moon. No gods prowl these shores, nothing muddled or poison-fleshed. I will teach you to float, to hold your celestial breath, and feel the water close over you like an eye closes, and everything will go on growing, but for a moment, like the top of a breath, will pause and either go on or perish. And this is the title poem, Birthday of the Dead. The theme of this party is truth irreducible, silver streamers suspended from a tall tower. The musicians, sleeves billowing, play hits perennial as the hellebore. Anyone who comes to this party in the clearing should take the proper precautions, wear white, or if not white, red. It is the birthday of the dead who have brought their postcards and jewels. Who has made this blood soup? Poor goose lured with rich scraps. We have charted the migration patterns of these flocks, years of planning for the birthday of the dead. It is in this clearing that we pull them apart. Men of poetry. Only the ghosts of nightingales beneath the floorboards. Do not weep. With every step, you do not crush the fine bones of their bodies, so they sing out the alarm. Men cannot be stolen. They walk away, their robes silent in the blue night. I cut them like seeds. I cut them like teeth. Like teeth, they ache through one's body, wend their way around nerve and bone. In the great hall, the bones pile up, eye sockets smooth as an egg. The eggs of the native quail tremble on each plate, tremble all the way down the throat and set the body to trembling. Oh, to watch one's companion weather this. It is like slicing out one's tongue and feeding it to a god. And then I'll read one more from, well, joking, two more from here and then some new poems. The future has an ancient heart. All the peaches go bad at once. My riders enter from the left, single trumpet, decomposition, battered as a tulip. Feast this, a cow's heart enters 1,000 underdirt maws, tongued arterial, a kine adrift. What was once wound is now awaiting. Lord, what I would not give for extinction, for the desert of our rivered youth. What cup is this? What white bird, plump as a thought, eats from my trough? I have nothing but horsehair for my dowries. I give birth in cathedrals of hay. A wet new bird, I do not leave the earth. And then, what a terrible magician I am. I can't even turn the canary's heart into whispered black ash, a poor early diamond. Every time I try to double the snow on the forest floor, the trees slink away and the light is the light of some dumb Tuesday in late March, hardly enchanting. The moon drops one of her loosened veils onto the head of my demon, who wails with such desire that I shut him in a cave. I give him a lamp and a chair and a narrow bed, and when he calls down from the mountain, I forget the color of snowdrops, the feel of two identical birds, hearts like nothing at all. And then we have some new poems. Waking Ruin 3. There are 1 and 2 do exist. The 1,000-eyed beast has taken, knitted in a sack, me far from here, to ancient Paris, to Budapest imagined. Every inch of earth has he walked upon in his egg-soled sandals, outrunning the fevered sunflowers. Each place is an artery, darkening the sky as a supplicant darkens parchment, rabbit brandishing spear, helmeted snail on the attack. From each town do we abscond with the last of the salt. The forest spills its lungs into the moat, and the 1,000-eyed beast stops to sip at the underwater flowers. Cows follow us as we quake the land, as we shout in the trees. In pursuit, a bride of 1,000 wounds, for whom spring is an egg inside an apple, inside a moon, nude and saltless. Nocturne. I have stayed as long as I could, as your little thief, as your garbage king, your bread slasher, that old evil. I have gathered twigs for your night meal, silvered with frost and clung to by insects. You have asked me to present a theory, sit by this fire while I milk my meek brain. My ears are stone fruits, ripening and falling to the carpet. I've told this story before in the small summers, the air warming like an orchestra over the grass. I have lain in the low places, a leviathan parted. Salt me away, spread my skin over the walls. I ask only for the amulet of the least righteous, eyelid of mourning, which I swallow with my bare hands. A lot of salt in these poems. Actually, this one also has salt in it. There's some these trends that just pop up subconsciously. It's incredible. I will skip that one, actually. Too much salt. We're gonna move away from that for a second. Unshriven with company. I see you, ghosty. I see you fall from the crabapple like a worm, like oxblood into the milky dirt. I have lain my table. I ask only for the twists of the fig tree, Georgic. Wine nearly blue, cheese old as a saint. It has never been summer here. Surely you can sniff that. God, will this romance never end? Willful dust upon the eyelashes, grass a spear, the moon the skull's prisoner. I am tired of feeling these things. The harvest arrives, jealous as a virgin. You know what to do. Atomic. Face smeared with duck grease, winter rides in on its world-ending, slow-shedding beast, ringed head to hoof with clay bells whose clappers have been torn out. The future, I've been told, is nothing more than a boiled tulip bulb on a windowsill. It is always February, month of purity, month of cabbage, when nothing need migrate and the trees yearn for the saw. I am atomic as violets in snow. Restoration. God damn it, you're dead again, and this is no way to greet your new garnet, stuck squarely in the forehead of the hermit toad, metamorphic splay, weak wood-hammered heart. Goldmanite, use what seeds you can drape this mountain in clouds, muses in the forest, again, gray hoods simpering, habits dust their knees. Dodecahedral whispers gas the atmosphere. I have bloodied the forest, so no nymph will find flower here, no safety for the tongue drunk. What huddled cave have we made of our unplundered selves? Love poem. By day, I am a hardy priest gospeling a newly shimmered puddle, sweet tree beams glancing over me like grandmothers in a lemon grove. A thing or two about seasons. Sugar darkens in the sun and bullies the red-breasted hum zithering through the fog. I was too hasty. Love is an opera hat at midnight, is stepping mildly to the persimmon copse, is dangling your hand over the parade of night ants like a human sword. Waking ruin. Keep close to mirrors, says Wolf. Reach up from your mere bones toward the bile-black night, says Beetle. What a naive bunch, says a thing passing through the garden on hind legs, boiling in a dream. I've got a sweet tangle for you. Okay, it plants grasses like you wouldn't believe. I'm on quiet fire in this garden. The rosemary nips at me. The insects sniff behind my ears. Listen, lie here under this hedge. Let it cover you like a nightgown. Inside the jar of my head, such a three-headed lion. I subtract you, worm of my speech. Unhook your eyelids, lay still as a cabbage. The trees know me. Reader, they know me. This is the Garden of Eden. Spring, my little knife, skittish as a criminal drunk on scholarship. Here I am on your doorstep, bearing the warts of our long acquaintance. The sky negligees its way through every globe of dew caught in the earth's unwashed hair. You are the season of loathing, of one half of the brain refusing to question the other half, preferring to cyclops its way through the grift. Hold this fence post, hand me the hammer. If God is to think about human beings, it must be in a piece of land with a fence around it. Flee with martyrdom. 1. I was outside myself, shearing lambs small as snowy planets, when the wind that blasted scholar tied the ends of my hair together with ash, and lo, I was wifed. Our dream recurs, rancor dull as pewter. I take up the rusted calipers, squeeze each stretching shadow. 2. I haven't thought this much in decades. It's uncomfortable where I live. I live there forever, wander with my flapping standard from room to room, make up clouds, and beneath them, more clouds. What luck! I wear the epaulets of reason over my ordinary burial clothes. I kneel every chance I get. And actually, this is the last poem that I have, so I'm a little early, but then we get to hear Christina. So thank you all again tremendously for all of this. This is wonderful to see you and to read with and to you. Visitation. Already the monks have savaged the new straw. There is nothing but flower in the valley, so that one is always in danger of rising over the washed hills, green as linen. The beasts of this country exchange what folklore they know, what afternoon song combs the sun's long black hair. I am writing to you from the place of silent fruit. Here are my walnut-colored clothes, and here is my bell, asleep in its vowels. If you see a saint, speak to it like wine speaks murderously to salt. Thank you so much.